The mic was still on. I heard my mother's whisper crystal clear, "She sings like she's torturing us," and my father's laugh, "Let her dream, saves us college tuition." Glasses clinked, relatives chuckled along. I set down the dessert tray, lifted my head to face the camera directly. "If this dream bothers you so much, then I'll turn it into a storm." And that storm began right there, at that family celebration, with the taste of their mockery still bitter on my tongue. My name is Avery Hart, and I'm about to tell you how I destroyed my parents' reputation using their own words against them. The Silver Lantern Ballroom glows with that particular shade of warm yellow that makes everyone look successful. It's my aunt and uncle's 45th wedding anniversary, and the Hart family has gathered in full force lawyers, doctors, real estate moguls, all the respectable professions my parents worship. I'm the black sheep, the 30-year-old part-time bookkeeper at Westmore Community Arts Center who still plays around with singing. "Avery, sweetheart, you simply must sing for us." Aunt Margaret corners me near the chocolate fountain, her voice carrying that false sweetness that runs in the family. "Remember how you used to perform those little concerts in the backyard?" I feel the familiar trap closing. My mother, Linda Hart, glides over in her emerald dress, diamond earrings catching the light. "Oh, Avery would love to. Wouldn't you, dear?" Her hand on my shoulder feels like a vice. She's been taking those lessons. The way she says lessons makes it sound like therapy for the deranged. Before I can object, Uncle Richard is already adjusting the microphone on the small stage. The band, a jazz quartet hired for the occasion, looks at me expectantly. 200 relatives and family friends turn in their chairs, champagne glasses paused mid-air. I walk to the stage, my heels clicking against the parquet floor. Each step echoes like a countdown. The mic feels cold in my hand. I choose "The Way You Look Tonight," safe, classic, impossible to butcher if you have any training at all. My voice fills the room, and I know it's good. Not perfect, but good. I've spent 3 years working with online tutorials, recording myself, analyzing every note. But as I scan the crowd, I see the familiar expressions, polite smiles that don't reach the eyes, the subtle glances at phones, my cousin Derek actually yawning. The applause is immediate and brief, like they're swatting away an inconvenience. I place the microphone back in its stand, but the green LED indicator still glows. Active, recording, transmitting. That's when I hear it. "Thank God that's over." My mother's voice, clear as crystal through the PA system. She must be standing near the band's equipment, not realizing the wireless mic is still picking up everything within 15 feet. She sounds like she's strangling a cat. My father, Charles Hart, adds with that particular chuckle he reserves for other people's failures. All those lessons and she still can't carry a tune. "Remember when she wanted to audition for that singing show?" Mom continues. "I told the producer she had a family emergency. Saved us all the embarrassment. Best $800 I never spent." Dad agrees. The sound engineer, a young guy with gauges in his ears, frantically reaches for the mixer, but I'm already moving. I cross the 12 feet to the soundboard and place my hand over his. "Leave it," I whisper. "Ladies and gentlemen," my mother's voice continues over the speakers. "Should we tell her the truth, that she's tone deaf? Let her keep her little hobby." Dad responds, "Better than her getting ideas about actually pursuing it." Can you imagine our daughter, a failed singer working dive bars? The ballroom has gone silent. 200 people are staring at the speakers, then at my parents, who stand frozen near the band's equipment table, their faces draining of color as they realize their voices are being broadcast. I walk directly through the crowd, past the chocolate fountain, past Aunt Margaret's horrified face. I stop 3 feet from my parents. The mic is still on. Everyone can hear. "You want to know what's really embarrassing?" I say, my voice steady and clear. "Parents who are so insecure they have to tear down their own daughter. But don't worry, you've just given everyone here a real reason to talk." I set down the dessert plate I'd been carrying, the china ringing against the table like a bell. Avery, sweetheart. We were just, Mom starts. Joking. I finish. No, jokes are funny. That was just cruel. I walk out of the Silver Lantern Ballroom, leaving behind the yellow lights, the clinking glasses, and 200 witnesses to my parents' true nature. The parking lot air hits my lungs like freedom. In my car, I pull out my phone and see the notifications already starting videos of the incident uploaded to family group chats, tagged on social media. The mic had been on for 43 seconds. Long enough. I text Noah Reyes, my childhood friend who runs a recording studio. Remember when you said you wanted to help me record something? I'm ready, and I have the perfect opening sample. The storm has begun. Noah's studio sits in a converted warehouse on the industrial side of Riverton, where the rent is cheap and nobody complains about noise. At 2:30 a.m., I'm sitting in his control room, watching him work his magic on the audio file I grabbed from the Silver Lantern's sound system. "This is gold," he says, adjusting levels on his mixing board. "Clean recording. Perfect clarity. Your parents really didn't know the mic was hot. They were too busy performing their usual routine, tearing me down for sport." I pull up my phone, showing him screenshot after screenshot. "Look at this." The family group chat exploded after I left. The messages range from shock to gleeful gossip. Cousin Derek, "Did that really just happen?" Aunt Margaret, "Linda must be mortified." Uncle Richard, "Maybe they had too much champagne." But 3 messages stand out, all from different relatives. Honestly, we've all heard them talk about Avery like that. About time someone called them out. She actually has a lovely voice. "We're going to use all of this," Noah says, his engineer mind already strategizing. "But first, we need to get you ready. Really ready." That's when Maya Collins walks in. I've seen her name in the credits of 3 platinum albums. She's 45, wearing ripped jeans and a vintage Prince t-shirt, carrying a tea that smells like honey and ginger. "Noah played me your recordings," she says without preamble. "You have potential buried under bad habits. 3 months, and I'll have you performance ready. But you follow my program exactly." She pulls out an iPad, showing me a color-coded schedule that looks like military training. 5 a.m., cardio for breath support. 6 a.m., vocal exercises. 7 a.m., breakfast. Here's the approved list. Nothing that creates phlegm. Work your day job, then back here at 6 p.m. for technique. 3 hours minimum, 5 days a week. That's insane. I breathe. That's professional. Maya corrects. "Your parents think you're playing at being a singer. Let's show them what real dedication looks like." Noah pulls up his laptop. "While Maya rebuilds your voice, I'm documenting everything, every practice session, every breakthrough, every setback. We're creating an undeniable record of transformation." I think about my parents, probably at home right now, damage controlling with their society friends. "What's the end game at the Harbor Heights Foundation Gala?" Noah says, pulling up the website. "It's in 90 days. The biggest arts fundraiser in Riverton. Your mother is co-chair, right? She lives for that event. It's her social Olympics." Perfect. They run an emerging artist showcase. Anonymous submissions. Blind jury selection. If you get in, you perform at the gala, in front of everyone who matters to your parents. Maya sets down her tea. "But here's the thing, you can't just be good. You need to be undeniable. Every note perfect. Every breath controlled. Every emotion real but contained. We're not just training your voice. We're building a weapon." I look at the schedule again. 90 days to transform from someone who sings well enough into someone who can command a stage. "What if I'm not good enough?" "Then we'll have evidence of you trying," Noah says, pulling up a folder on his computer labeled Project Restoration. "I've already uploaded tonight's audio. Every cruel word, date, and time stamped. Your parents want to claim you're delusional. We'll have 90 days of footage proving otherwise." Maya stands. First lesson starts now. Stand up. For the next 2 hours, she strips apart everything I thought I knew about singing. My posture is wrong, my breathing shallow, My placement nasal. She makes me hold notes until my vision spots, then shows me how to do it without strain. Your parents were accidentally right about one thing, she says as I'm gasping between exercises. You were torturing people, but not because you can't sing, because nobody ever taught you how to use what you have. By 5 a.m., my entire body aches in places I didn't know could ache. Noah has recorded everything, occasionally pulling up the audio from the party to remind us why we're here. 90 days, I say, looking at my reflection in the booth glass. Dark circles already forming. Hair a mess, but something different in my eyes. Not hope, something sharper. Determination. 89. Maya corrects, checking her watch. Today already started. Go home. Sleep for 90 minutes. Then get up and run. Your transformation doesn't pause for exhaustion. I drive home as the sun rises over Riverton, my parents' words echoing from Noah's speakers. She's tone deaf. Failed singer working dive bars. 89 days to prove them wrong. Not with words, but with evidence they can't deny, in front of people they can't dismiss, at the event they value most. The steering wheel vibrates under my grip. I'm not just going to sing at their precious gala. I'm going to make them introduce me. The rusty anchor smells like spilled beer and broken dreams. It's week 6 of training, and I'm about to get my ass handed to me at open mic night. Maya stands in the back corner, notebook ready. Noah has 3 cameras running, one on me, one on the crowd, one wide shot. Next up, the MC drawls, already bored. We have Amy. Avery, I correct into the mic. Nobody cares. I launch into Valerie, a safe choice that usually gets crowds moving. Instead, I get 12 people scrolling their phones and a drunk guy heckling from the bar. Sing something we know, he shouts. I am singing something you know, I think. But my voice cracks on the bridge. Your vibrato went sharp on measure 16, Maya says later, playing back the footage in Noah's studio. Your breath support collapsed here, and here. Your stage presence was apologetic. You were begging them to like you. She's right. Every criticism is a scalpel cut of truth. Again, she says. Week 8. Another open mic, this time at Velvet Room. I'm better breath controlled, notes centered. But the MC still butchers my name, calling me Ashley, and the crowd treats me like elevator music. Maya fills 3 pages with notes. Noah documents every painful second. You're technically proficient, Maya says, but you're not telling a story. You're so focused on being perfect that you forgot to be human. That night, I write my first original song, Ledger of Names. Every person who ever dismissed me, reduced to entries in an accounting book. The melody comes out angry, then sad, then something else. Resolved. Week 10. We're recording Ledger of Names in Noah's studio. Take after take, each one dissected like a medical experiment. My voice cracks with emotion on take 12, and I start to apologize. Keep that, Noah says. That crack is real. Maya nods. Pain can be perfect if it's intentional. We work until 4 a.m., layering harmonies, adding strings that sound like tears, drums that pulse like a headache. The final mix is 3 minutes and 47 seconds of controlled fury. Now we need visuals, Noah says. The warehouse space at Westmore Center is perfect exposed pipes, flickering fluorescent tubes, a loading dock that faces the highway. We shoot at 2 a.m., when the truck traffic creates moving lights through the windows. One continuous take, no cuts, no hiding. I stand in the center of the empty space, wearing the same black dress from the anniversary party. As I sing, Noah slowly circles me with the camera. The flickering lights create shadows that move like accusations. My voice echoes off concrete walls, raw and exposed. Posted. Noah announces 3 days later. Submitted to Northline City Showcase under the anonymous entry, Account Balance. The video gets 300 views in the first week. Then someone with influence shares it. By week 12, it's at 50,000. The comments are brutal and beautiful. Who hurt this woman? That bridge gave me chills. The crack in her voice at 2:15? Perfection. But the one that matters comes via email. Congratulations. Account balance has been selected for live performance at the Northline City Showcase. As the winner of the Emerging Voices category, you've earned a performance slot at the Harbor Heights Foundation Gala. Please confirm your acceptance. Maya and I are in the studio when the email arrives. She doesn't smile, that's not her style, but she nods. You're ready? Technically. But the gala isn't the Rusty Anchor. It's 300 of Riverton's elite, including your parents. The moment you walk on that stage, you're not Avery Hart, failed singer. You're a professional who happens to be revealing a truth. Can you hold that distinction? I think about Mom planning her outfit for the gala right now, Dad practicing his donor speech. They have no idea what's coming. I need to do one more open mic, I say. Tomorrow night, the Rusty Anchor again. Maya raises an eyebrow. Why? Because I need to know I can fail and keep singing. The next night, same terrible venue, same bored MC who calls me Aubrey this time, same drunk heckler. But something's different. I'm different. When he shouts, "Play Freebird," I look him straight in the eye and say, "Sorry, I only play expensive birds," and launch into Ledger of Names. The room doesn't transform. No sudden standing ovation. But 3 people put down their phones. The bartender stops wiping glasses. And when I hit the bridge that moment where my voice cracks with intentional pain, the drunk guy shuts up. Better, Maya says afterward. You weren't asking for permission. Noah shows me the footage. For the first time, I don't cringe watching myself perform. I look like someone who has something to say. 17 days until the gala, he reminds me. Your parents still don't know. They've been calling. I haven't answered. Mom left a voicemail yesterday saying they're concerned about my mental health and want to have a family meeting about my recent behavior. Maya laughs the first time I've heard it. Your mental health is about to be excellent, publicly excellent. I look at the submission confirmation for the gala performance. Performer name, Avery Hart. Song selection, Ledger of Names. Technical requirements, direct audio feed, pre-show video capability. Noah, can you prepare a special video package 45 seconds? Maximum impact. He grins. Already started. Wait until you see what I did with the anniversary party audio. The text message comes at 7:15 a.m. from my cousin Derek. Your mom's telling everyone you're having a breakdown. Check the family group chat. I scroll through 47 messages. Linda Hart has crafted a masterpiece of maternal concern. We're asking for prayers for Avery. She's going through something and has cut us off. We think she may have joined some kind of music cult. If anyone sees her, please let us know she's loved and we're here when she's ready for help. The responses are predictably sympathetic. Poor Linda. How awful for you. Young people today. Only Aunt Sarah, the family black sheep before me, writes, maybe she just needs space. She's immediately shut down by Mom's flying monkeys. I screenshot everything, adding it to Noah's growing folder of evidence. Then I text Derek back, not in a cult, just busy becoming everything they said I couldn't be. 2 hours later, I'm at Westmore Community Arts Center for my shift when my supervisor, Janet, pulls me aside. Avery, I received a concerning call from someone claiming to be your mother. She says you're mentally unstable and shouldn't be handling financial records. My stomach drops. What? She suggested we give you time off to heal. She was very persistent, even mentioned she knows several board members. This is escalation. Mom's not just controlling the family narrative, she's trying to destabilize my income. Janet, I'm fine. I'm actually performing at the Harbor Heights Gala next week. Her eyes widen. The gala. But that's... Your mother runs that. She co-chairs it, and she doesn't know yet. Janet studies me carefully. Are you sure you're okay? This seems like a lot of family drama. I've never been better. I have documentation if you need it, videos of my training, professional references. I'm not having a breakdown. I'm having a breakthrough. There's a difference. She nods slowly. I'll need you to provide those references, just to cover ourselves if she calls again. I spend lunch hour calling Maya and Noah. Within 2 hours, Janet has 3 professional references, including one from a Grammy-nominated producer Maya knows. But the damage is spreading. That afternoon, an email arrives from the Harbor Heights Foundation. So, we've received concerning information about one of our performers. Please confirm your availability and mental fitness to perform. My hands shake as I type back, I confirm my availability and professional readiness. I've attached my recent performance videos and references. I look forward to performing at the gala. Noah calls immediately. They're trying to get you pulled from the program. I know. We need to be strategic. Your parents are escalating because they're scared. Someone must have told them you're performing. That evening, Dad tries a different approach. He shows up at my apartment, using his key from when I first moved in. I find him sitting in my living room when I get home. We need to talk, he says, using his lawyer voice. Your mother is worried sick. This rebellion needs to stop. It's not rebellion, Charles. I use his first name deliberately. It's my life. You're embarrassing us. That stunt at the anniversary party, where you were caught publicly humiliating me? His face reddens. We were having a private conversation, next to a live microphone, at an event where I had just performed. You're twisting things, as usual. We've only ever wanted what's best for you. I pull out my phone, play the recording. His voice fills my apartment, better than her getting ideas about actually pursuing it. That sounds like someone protecting their own image, not their daughter's future. He stands abruptly. If you perform at that gala, there will be consequences. Like what you'll tell people I'm mentally unstable. Try to get me fired. Oh, wait, you're already doing that. We'll cut you off completely. No family events, no holidays, no inheritance. I think about every Christmas where they introduced me as their daughter who works in arts administration, while leaving out the part-time bookkeeper part. Every family gathering where my singing was the punchline. You cut me off years ago, I say. You just kept my body around as a prop. Leave your key on the table. He drops it with a clatter that sounds like chains breaking. After he leaves, I call Maya. They're trying to sabotage the gala performance. Then we sabotage them back, she says simply. Noah's video package makes sure it includes evidence of their current behavior, not just the anniversary party. Show the pattern. That feels like what they're doing to you. No, you're showing truth. They're spreading lies. There's a difference. I look at the screenshots on my laptop, messages where Mom calls me delusional, the email trying to get me removed from the gala, Dad's threats from tonight, which I recorded on my phone. Noah, I text. We need to update the pre-show package. I have new material. His response is immediate. On it. This is going to be devastating. 10 days until the gala. My parents have drawn battle lines, thinking they still control the field. They have no idea I've already won. The performance contract arrives by courier 5 days before the gala. I read it 3 times. Maya reads it twice, and Noah brings his cousin who's in law school. We sit in the studio, dissecting every line like a battle plan. Standard performance agreement, the cousin says. But look at Clause 7B. I lean in. Performer retains full creative control of introductory media package, not to exceed 60 seconds. That's unusual, Maya notes. Typically, the venue controls all media. Noah grins. Someone on that committee wants to make sure artists maintain their voice. Bet they don't know they just handed us a loaded weapon. And here, the cousin points to another section. Technical requirements, direct audio feed from house system, video capability for pre-show content. No prior approval needed for artistic materials as long as they meet time constraints. It's perfect, I breathe. Legally airtight. We spend the next 3 hours crafting the pre-show package. Noah's edited it down to 55 seconds of precision. It opens with a black screen and white text, what they say when they think we can't hear. Then, waveforms. No faces, no identifying visuals, just audio waves pulsing with voices. My parents from the anniversary party. Their words subtitled, "She sounds like she's strangling a cat." Cut to Mom's voicemail about my mental breakdown. The waveform spiking with her fake concern. Dad's threat from my apartment, "There will be consequences." Between each clip, a single line of text appears, words spoken by those who claim to love me most. The final 10 seconds show my performance video from the warehouse. Just my silhouette against those flickering lights. My voice soaring through ledger of names, climax. Then black screen, white text. "Tonight, I sing for everyone who was told they couldn't." "It's brutal," Maya says after watching the final cut. "It's honest," I correct. Noah burns 3 backup copies. Uploads 1 to a private server. Tech requirements specify we provide our own media on USB. They'll load it into their system 90 minutes before showtime. Once it's in, they can't pull it without breaking contract. 2 days before the gala, I receive an email from the Harbor Heights Foundation. My heart stops, thinking they've found a way to block me. Instead, "Dear Ms. Hart, congratulations on winning the Emerging Voices category. As our featured emerging artist, you'll open the main program. Please arrive at 5:30 p.m. for sound check. Your performance is scheduled for 8:45 p.m. Opening the main program, not tucked into cocktail hour where people half listen over canapes. The main stage, where my mother will be sitting in the front row in her role as co-chair. That night, I break my silence and text her, "I'll see you at the gala." "Save me a seat at your table." She responds immediately. "Avery, thank God. Yes, of course. We have so much to discuss. Wear something appropriate." I text back, "Already picked out my outfit." What she doesn't know, it's the same black dress from the anniversary party, the one I wore in the warehouse video, the one I was wearing when everything changed. The day before the gala, Noah and I visit the venue, the Grand Riverton Ballroom, 3 times the size of the Silver Lantern. The audio engineer, a guy named Marcus, walks us through the setup. "Your media package goes here." He shows us the upload station. Once it's in the system, it's locked for the show. No changes, no deletions. That's policy. Even if someone important asks, Noah probes. Marcus laughs. "Especially then. I've been doing this 15 years. You wouldn't believe what board members try to pull. But once that content is locked, it's locked. I'd need written authorization from the performer to change anything." Perfect. That evening, Maya puts me through one final rehearsal. We run ledger of names 7 times, each one cleaner than the last. My voice is stronger than it's ever been. My breath control automatic. My emotional connection to the words absolute. "Tomorrow, you're not performing for your parents," Maya says as we finish. "You're not performing for revenge. You're performing for every person in that room who's been told they're not enough. Your parents just happen to be there." But we both know that's not entirely true. I go home and lay out the black dress. Set my alarm for 5 a.m., even though I know I won't sleep. Pull up the contract one more time, running my finger over the clause that matters most. Performer retains full creative control. My phone buzzes with a text from Mom. "So glad you've come to your senses. Tomorrow we can put this whole silly episode behind us." I don't respond. Tomorrow, nothing gets put behind us. Tomorrow, everything comes into the light. Noah texts at midnight. "Media package confirmed. 3 USB copies ready. Maya will have backup number 4. I'll have 5. No technical failure will stop this." One more text, from a number I don't recognize. "Ms. Hart, this is Sarah Winters from the Gala Committee. Just confirming your technical requirements have been noted. Your pre-show package will run exactly as submitted. Looking forward to your performance." I Google her. Sarah Winters' newest committee member, founded a nonprofit supporting emerging artists, known for disrupting traditional philanthropy models. Someone on the inside wants this to happen. 20 hours until showtime. My parents think they've won, that I'm coming back to play my role as the disappointing daughter who needs their guidance. They're about to learn what happens when you mistake silence for surrender. The Grand Riverton Ballroom transforms at night. By 8:30 p.m. 300 of Riverton's elite fill the space, their jewelry catching the chandelier light like scattered stars. I stand backstage, watching through a gap in the curtains as my mother works the room in her sapphire gown, accepting compliments about the arrangements, the catering, the program she's curated. 5 minutes to your introduction, Marcus says through my earpiece. Pre-show package is locked and loaded. My father stands beside Mom at the head table, shaking hands with the mayor. They've placed my name card at their table, the prodigal daughter's return. The empty chair waits like a trap they think I'll walk into after my performance. Noah appears beside me, iPad in hand. Everything's green, audio feed is live, Maya's in position at the soundboard as backup. Through the curtain gap, I spot familiar faces. Aunt Margaret, Uncle Richard, cousins who witnessed the anniversary debacle, board members from Westmore. 3 local music journalists Mom somehow convinced to cover her triumph of family reconciliation. Perfect. The foundation president takes the stage, tapping the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. We're about to begin our main program. The room settles into expectant silence. Mom and Dad claim their front row positions, Mom's hand resting proprietarily on Dad's arm, the picture of successful partnership. Before we begin, the president continues, I want to thank our incredible co-chairs, Linda and Charles Hart, whose dedication makes this evening possible. Applause ripples through the room. Mom stands briefly, that practiced wave she perfected at country club events. Dad nods with appropriate humility. They retake their seats, unaware of the USB drive already loaded into the system. Tonight's opening performance comes from the winner of our Emerging Voices showcase. This artist was selected through anonymous submission by a panel of industry professionals. Their piece speaks to the journey of finding one's voice despite opposition. Please welcome to the stage, after a brief introduction, Ava Hart. I hear Mom's sharp intake of breath even from backstage. Her head whips toward Dad, whose jaw has gone rigid, but they can't move, can't protest, locked in place by 300 watching eyes. The lights dim to black. The screen behind the stage illuminates. Those 5 words appear, what they say when they think we can't hear. The first waveform pulses. Mom's anniversary party voice fills the ballroom. She sounds like she's strangling a cat. I watch her face through the curtain gap. The color drains like water from a broken glass. Dad's laughter echoes next. Let her keep her little hobby. The room has gone absolutely still. 300 people lean forward, recognizing those voices, understanding exactly what they're witnessing. The voicemail plays. Mom's concerned mother act. We think she may have joined some kind of music cult. Someone in the audience actually gasps. Then, Dad's threat from my apartment, the waveform spiking violently. If you perform at that gala, there will be consequences. 45 seconds of evidence, each clip precisely selected. No names spoken, but everyone knows. The screen shows my silhouette in the warehouse, voice soaring through heartbreak into power. The final text appears, Tonight, I sing for everyone who was told they couldn't. The screen goes black. A single spotlight pierces the darkness, finding me already at center stage. I'd walked out during the final 10 seconds of the video, invisible in the darkness. Now I stand in that circle of white light, wearing the same black dress they mocked, holding the same microphone that betrayed them. Good evening, I say, my voice steady as Maya trained me. I'm Ava Hart. You just heard my parents' review of my singing. This is my response. The opening notes of Ledger of Names flow from the piano. I lock eyes with my mother for one brutal second, then lift my gaze above the crowd. Singing to that point, Maya taught me where the back wall meets the ceiling, where judgment can't reach. My voice fills the space differently than at the anniversary party. 3 months of training has transformed it from pleasant to powerful. The first verse whispers, each word crisp as an accusation. The pre-chorus builds, my breath support holding notes that would have broken me before. Then the chorus explodes. My voice opens fully, hitting notes that make the crystal glasses on tables vibrate. I watch the audience shift from uncomfortable voyeurs to witnesses of something unexpected, actual talent. The bridge strips down to just piano and my voice, vulnerable but unbreaking. I kept a ledger of names who said I'd fail. Every entry made me harder to derail. Now I'm cashing in their doubts like currency, buying back the person they couldn't see. The final chorus lifts even higher. I hold the last note for 12 seconds. Maya counted once, letting it fade to silence that feels like a held breath. The ballroom erupts. Not polite charity gala applause, but the real thing. People rise from their seats. Someone shouts, "Brava!" The journalists are typing furiously on their phones, but I only see two faces, Linda and Charles Hart, frozen in their front row seats while everyone around them stands. Mom's mouth opens and closes like she's forgotten how words work. Dad's face has turned the color of expensive burgundy. The foundation president returns to the stage, clearly shaken. That was extraordinary. Thank you, Avery. Ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause for our emerging artist. He turns to my parents, the microphone still live. Linda, Charles, you must be so proud. Would you like to say something about your daughter's performance? The spotlight swings to them. 300 faces turn expectantly. The journalists raise their phones to record. The spotlight holds them like insects in amber. My mother rises slowly, her practiced composure cracking at the edges. The microphone waits in the president's extended hand. 300 people lean forward. The journalists' phones create a constellation of recording lights. Mom's voice cracks. She clears her throat, takes the microphone with fingers that tremble slightly. We're incredibly proud of Avery. The words come out mechanical, empty as a voided check. Someone in the back actually laughs, quickly stifled, but we all hear it. Charles. The president offers the mic to my father. Dad stands, his lawyer training kicking in. He takes the microphone with steady hands, but I see the muscle jumping in his jaw. Avery has always been determined. Tonight, she's proven that determination pays off. He hands the mic back like it's contaminated. Let's give the Harts another round of applause for raising such a talented daughter, the president says, oblivious to the undercurrents or perhaps enjoying them. The applause is enthusiastic but edged with something else, a collective understanding that they've witnessed a very public reckoning. My parents sit back down, Mom's smile fixed like rigor mortis, Dad staring straight ahead at nothing. But I'm not done. I step back to the microphone. Thank you. I'd like to perform one more song, if that's all right. This one's new. I wrote it this week. It's called The Ledger Balances. The president looks confused. This isn't in the program, but Sarah Winters appears at the stage's edge, nodding encouragement. The president steps back. Noah had uploaded this backing track just hours ago, after I wrote it in a fever dream at 4A. The music starts darker than ledger of names, with strings that sound like storm clouds gathering. I sing directly to my parents this time, my voice starting as a whisper. You taught me to keep score, so I kept books, every slight, every sneer, every pitying look. You said I'd never make it, so I made a plan to show you who I am, not who you think I am. The pre-chorus builds with drums that sound like war. 30 years of swallowing my voice. You made mockery seem like the only choice. But every word you said when you thought I couldn't hear became the fuel that brought me here. Then the chorus drops like a guillotine. The ledger balances tonight, every wrong becoming right. You're sitting front row at my show, watching someone you don't know. The daughter you dismissed and scorned has been reborn, has been transformed, and now you have to sit and see the person you never believed I could be. The bridge strips down to just my voice and a solo violin, raw as an exposed nerve. That night, the mic was still on. I sing this line, letting it hang in the air. Tonight. I turned it up louder. You called my dreams noise pollution. This is my resolution. The final chorus explodes with the full orchestra. I walk forward to the edge of the stage, 3 feet from where my parents sit frozen. My voice soars to notes Maya said would take years to reach, but rage is a hell of a teacher. The ledger balances tonight. You're wrong, my right. In black and white, front row at the show you tried to cancel. Now you see I'm too much to handle. The daughter you created with your doubt has figured her own value out. The books are closed. The debt is paid. Watch what your cruelty made. I hold the final note until my lungs burn, then cut it off sharp as a blade. Silence. Then the ballroom detonates. People surge to their feet. Someone whistles. Another shouts, "Holy shit," before remembering where they are. The journalists are practically climbing over tables to get closer. I bow once, deeply, professionally. Then I walk straight off the stage, past the president trying to hand me flowers, past Sarah Winters mouthing "brilliant," past everything. But I hear the president's voice over the sound system. "Ladies and gentlemen, Avery Hart." "Linda, Charles, your daughter is extraordinary. How does it feel to have raised such a phenomenal talent?" I don't stop to hear their answer. I know what they'll say, something hollow about always believing in me, about supporting my dreams, about being proud parents. They'll rewrite history in real time because that's what they do. But 300 people heard the truth first. The internet has the receipts. And I have the recording of their forced praise that Noah is definitely capturing from his position at the soundboard. In the green room, Maya waits with a bottle of champagne. That second song wasn't rehearsed. It was necessary. She pops the cork. Necessary things usually are. My phone explodes with notifications. Videos already uploading to social media. Daughter exposes parents at own gala, trending locally. Text from a number I don't recognize. "This is James Chen from Northline Records. We need to talk. Call me." Another from Aunt Sarah. "That was absolutely savage and absolutely deserved. But the one that matters comes from Noah. Got everything, including their face when you sang 'Watch What Your Cruelty Made.' It's beautiful." Through the green room monitor, I watch my parents work the room, their smiles tight as drumheads, accepting condolences disguised as congratulations. The ledger balances, the debt is paid, and I'm finally, definitively, free. The foundation president's voice carries through the ballroom speakers, professionally warm but with an edge of barely contained excitement. Before we continue with tonight's program, I believe our co-chairs have something they'd like to share about their daughter's stunning performance. I watch through the green room monitor as my mother accepts the microphone again. The cameras are all on her local news, social media, the foundation's official photographer. She's trapped in a prison of her own making, forced to perform gratitude she doesn't feel. Avery has always been... She pauses, swallowing hard. Passionate about music. We're so thrilled she's found her voice. Someone in the crowd calls out, "You must have always known she had this talent." Dad takes the microphone, his jaw tight enough to crack teeth. "Of course, we've always encouraged her artistic pursuits." The lie sits in the air like smoke. Everyone can smell it. "In fact," the president continues, his voice bright with an edge that suggests he knows exactly what he's doing. "Why don't we bring Avery back out here? I'm sure everyone would love to hear from this talented family together." No, this wasn't part of my plan, but Sarah Winters appears at the green room door. "Trust me," she says quietly. "This needs to happen." I follow her back to the stage, where my parents stand like mannequins under the lights. The president gestures for me to join them. Mom reaches for my hand, a performance of maternal affection, but I step just outside her reach. "Avery," the president says, "your parents were just telling us how proud they are. This must be such a special moment for your family." I take the microphone, look directly at the audience, then at my parents, then back to the 300 witnesses. "It is special," I say. Tonight, my parents finally heard me sing without interruption, without criticism, without judgment. They had to listen because everyone else was listening too. The ballroom holds its breath. For years, they told me I wasn't good enough. Tonight, They had to tell you I was extraordinary. That's growth, isn't it? I turn to them. Mom, Dad, isn't that growth? My mother's face cycles through expressions: rage, humiliation, forced acceptance. Yes, she manages. Growth. And you'll support my music career going forward? I ask, the microphone catching every word. They're trapped. 300 influential people watching, cameras rolling, their own reputations hanging by a thread they can't afford to cut. Of course, Dad says through gritted teeth. Whatever makes you happy. Wonderful. The president takes back the microphone. Let's have a final round of applause for the Hart family and especially for Avery, who I'm sure we'll be hearing much more from in the future. The applause thunders through the ballroom. I bow once to the audience, then turn to my parents. Lean in close enough that only they can hear me whisper. Every time you brag about me now, and you will, because you have to remember that everyone knows the truth. You're proud of someone you tried to destroy, and that's your burden to carry. I walk off the stage for the final time, leaving them standing there, frozen in their designer clothes and false smiles. Backstage, Noah waits with his phone. It's everywhere. The video has 200,000 views and climbing. 3 record labels have called. The Times wants an interview. Maya appears with my coat. Cars waiting. Time to go. Don't you want to stay for the rest of the gala? Noah asks. I look back at the monitor one more time. My parents are returning to their table, accepting condolences disguised as congratulations, their faces masks of practiced dignity, hiding complete defeat. No, I say. I've balanced the books. Time to start a new ledger. 6 months later, I'm performing at the Riverside Theater, a proper venue with proper sound and an audience that came specifically to hear me. My debut EP, Ledgers and Liabilities, sits at number 3 on the indie charts. My parents weren't invited, but I know they'll hear about it. They always do. These days, Linda Hart tells everyone about her successful singer-songwriter daughter. Charles mentions my artistic achievements at law firm dinners. They've become exactly what I needed them to become: reluctant publicists for the career they tried to kill. The mic is on, the lights are bright, and for the first time in my life, when I open my mouth to sing, I know that everyone is actually listening. The ledger doesn't just balance. It's been closed, filed away, and replaced with something better. A life where their opinions are just noise in the background of my own symphony. I step up to the microphone. The crowd quiets. This first song, I say, is for everyone who was told they couldn't. And I sing. Thank you so much for listening to my story of revenge and redemption. I'd love to know where you're listening from. Drop a comment below and let's connect. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel and share your own thoughts about standing up to those who tried to dim your light. What would you have done in Avery's shoes? Let me know in the comments.